What would you do if you had two best friends and you watched one of the best friends always become the perpetual martyr to the other friend? And while you knew that this friend had more class, more style, more um, smarts, just more everything, yet she always yielded to her other friend in everything. And she did it with the man as well. Tonight we're going to be reviewing a movie called Something Borrowed, and I'll give you my takeaway from that movie. It's with Kate Hudson and John Krasinski, and it's a rom-com, but it's kind of a dramatic rom-com. You have two best friends, Darcy and Rachel. Darcy is outgoing, very loud, very presumptuous, very entitled. Darcy is just the epitome of me. Like everything is about me, 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 me. She's all about herself. And then you have Rachel. Rachel is the complete opposite of Darcy in every way possible. Rachel is about others. She likes to make other people, especially the people that she loves, go ahead of her. And that's what she had done for years with her best friend Darcy. But she did this in love as well. Interesting movie, very interesting. And I watched this movie so many times with my daughters. Both of my daughters are grown. And I watched it with them, and I always feel bad for Rachel. And they always tell me, why are you feeling bad for someone who allowed this? See, Rachel was an easygoing person and she cared a lot about the people around her. So if it had to be her needs or her friends' needs, it was going to be her friends' needs. She was always going to martyr herself for the people that she loved. And while that is admirable to a certain extent, it's also kind of stupid. Because when do you become a priority to yourself? And that's the takeaway that I got from this movie. You cannot put other people ahead of you and expect to still be happy and expect to still make it somewhere in life. At some point, you have to be selfish. At some point, your needs are going to have to come first. Unfortunately, what happened in this situation with um, Dex is the love interest. Dex and Rachel, the perpetual martyr. Dex and Rachel were friends before M.I.C came into the picture. Dex liked Rachel. He loved Rachel, as a matter of fact. But Rachel always downplayed herself to the point where she didn't think she was good enough for someone as charming and handsome as Dex. That those two met in law school. But on the other hand, you had Darcy, the very outgoing uh, best friend of the person who's quiet and laid back. And, you could call her kind of a nerd because that's pretty much what she was, right? Rachel was kind of a nerd. And so you have the outgoing, person against the nerdy person. And where Dex really appreciated who Rachel was as a person. He didn't care about her quirks and that she was nerdy and, kind of quiet and just different. He didn't mind that. But what happened in this situation is Darcy came in on a date that those two were having. And I don't know exactly why Rachel invited another woman to do why she invited another woman on a date with the man that she herself was interested in. That was like her first mistake. And because she's quiet, because she's not as outgoing as as Darcy is, she kind of allowed Darcy to take the lead in the conversation. She kind of allowed Darcy to move in on Dex. Gotta watch it. It will upset you because you're like, what is wrong with her? You know what I mean? Here you are, you have someone who's totally interested in you and you brush him off to your best friend. And that was the point that my daughters make. They were like, I don't feel sorry for her because it was her fault that he began a relationship with Darcy because he felt like maybe Rachel didn't like him. But it wasn't that Rachel did not like this man. You know what Rachel's problem was? Self esteem. She didn't think she was good enough. And she always allowed her best friend Darcy to take the lead in everything. She yielded to everything that Darcy wanted. Interesting movie. I hope you will watch it. Again, my biggest takeaway from it is you have to be selfish sometimes. You cannot allow people to come in and steal your dreams while you say, oh, it's okay. It's almost like those people who cut in line from you and you don't cut in line in front of you and you don't say anything. You're like, oh, it's okay. I can wait. No, sometimes it's the principle of the matter. And sometimes the principle of the matter says, wait your turn. You know what I mean? Wait your turn. It's my turn and move out my way. But she didn't have that type of, I don't know, like, she didn't have that type of personality to push her way through anything. She was more of a laid back, easygoing person. You know, she didn't really like to cause confusion. She always yielded to the next person and especially her best friend. But I won't tell you the ending of it. I just told you the gist of the movie. I would hope you would hope I've said enough for you to go and watch this movie. Okay, so if you do watch this movie, come back here, tell me what you think of it. Give me your takeaway off of this movie. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.